We are live. And before I say anything, I'm going to say this. So, we work in this office that's the Pace headquarters. He hired all of us geniuses to make him look real good. And so, when we're working, when the boss comes in, you kind of sit different and you you kind of posture yourself different. So just Pace just walked in and he was very inconspicuous because he had a t-shirt on with a hat on, very similar to Dennis's hat. It was just black with the peace sign on it. And I'm like, Pace? He was like, shh. Yeah, it was cool. How's everybody doing today? Dennis, Grant, Caleb, my man. How we doing, fellas? We good?
Very
Doing
good.
well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And as always, our wonderful and beautiful host, Kimberly. Kimberly, how you doing today?
Amazing.
Doing amazing. You look fantastic. Awesome. This is
Thank
going to be a lot of
you.
fun.
How's my
really
hair
excited.
today? My
looks great.
hair and makeup okay?
Yeah, you look very glamorous because the light behind you is kind of bringing out that glamour shot vibe from back in the day. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Glamour shots. Oh, yes.
Yes, yes. In fact, and I must say this to Grant. Grant, the pink hat, I reference pink. I have a nice polo that's pink. The other day, as a team, I had to wear pink, and so I had this cool pink shirt and a cool pink hat. And so, yeah, I commend you, brother, on flexing the hat. So that's good stuff.
This is my Steve Jobs outfit. It's for my other business, so everybody knows me as the pink hat and shirt guy,
That's what's up, brother. Absolutely. So, guys, I want you guys to have a good time. Tell your story. Explain everything. Be sure to give the bad if there's any, and some good, of course, there will be. Because those in the chat, they'll be jumping in. Want to hear all the goodness. And, of course, Kimberly, as always, I'll be in the back. So, you guys have a good one.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And a big thank you goes out to the marvelous, magnificent Morby team who put so much work in to pull these interviews off. It takes a small army to get all the emails, all the conversations, the text going, the tech difficulties like we had today. So a big shout out to you guys. I am Kimberly. I am your live at 5 every Tuesday host. I have two sides. My real estate side, I close and hold single family homes. I consult on private money lending, private money partnering, and care homes like residential assisted living and sober living. I do a little this and that, and I have capital raised for nonprofits as well. My other side, I'm a nursepreneur. I've been a nurse for 22 years. I've been in healthcare for 32. I'm also a keynote speaker, a podcast host, an author, a CPR coach, a wellness instructor, and I also have a ministry here in Southwest Michigan and two amazing teenage boys. So in my spare time, I like to do awesome interviews with my folks from the community. So welcome, guys. This is going to be a fun bantering back and forth with all things creative. So Caleb's been here before, so he kind of knows the drill. We're going to talk about your background, how you got into real estate, a little bit about yourself, basically a Cliff Note version of what Grant and Dennis and Caleb was doing before they got into this amazing community, and about the deal and whatnot. So I'm going to start with the pink man hat. And what does your hat say, Grant? You mentioned backstage it was for your business. Do you want to start there and tell us a little bit about how you got into PCH pink shirt and hat branding and then exited over to real estate?
Yeah, so when COVID happened, I got let go. I lived right across the street from a Duffy rental company, and I was having a smoke, and I was just counting how many boats she had go out, and I was like, I could do that. So with all the extra COVID money, I started my own company, and then that grew, and then it's still growing, and I'm opening a new location in Marina Del Rey here by this weekend.
Oh, wow. So Marina Del Rey, that's California?
Yep, correct.
Oh,
so right by LAX.
Okay. I'll have to keep note of that because I might be flying into September for my second anthology story with a woman's confirmation book. So I'm coming out there for content day sometime in September. So maybe we can do an improv meetup with the Californians.
Yeah. And then the reason it's all pink is I was the first guy to create like the pink Duffys and the pink Duffys, and then now everybody's copied me. So it is what it is.
No, that's amazing because isn't pink still Breast Cancer Awareness Month? And like when is so that's great. Most people assimilate like the color pink with breast cancer awareness. So I mean, you're walking branding and you're pushing out information of awareness. That's amazing. And so you were doing this, you had all this COVID money, and then you just decided, hey, I'm going going to start in real estate? Was there something
So
that attracted you to real estate, especially not real estate, but creative real estate, doing advanced strategies for acquisitions and closings? And
well, it was funny. I was watching the Iced Coffee Hour when Pace was on there, and then he was talking about all this, and I'm like, man, look at this scam artist. What is Graham Stephan doing with this guy on here? You know, I thought it was all fake, and then I saw that it was real, and it was just like clicked, because with California prices, it's impossible to like get a house. So creative is like one of the only ways you could do it. So from there, it's just like went down the rabbit hole of just learning as much as I could, and then I was like, okay, he had that book signing. I met him in LA, and we started Orange County Joint Ventures where other Subto members were. And then it exploded from there.
okay, yeah, that's a big group over there. You have JJ, you have Brenda Jones and Kay Kubako that does RELs. Like California, there's some pretty amazing investors and business folks out there. I definitely need to make a trip sooner than later because your meetups are like off the chain. Awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy because like it was me, Brenda, Terrence, like Mark. It was like only 13 of us, and within a year now we're already at 1,000. Yeah,
wow.
It's crazy. It's like grown so fast.
And all grown naturally just with word of mouth and more people being introduced into the community and doing deals and transactions together. That's awesome. Very, very cool.
Yeah, when we started out, it was like my office was where we had it. And within 6 months, we had to go to a bigger location because people were just standing in my office. It was so full.
Awesome. Did you want to share anything else personally about you? Like kids, married, single? I mean, we could even create this and do a dating app. Let's be clear. like a symbol if you're single, married, or taken, or you're in a relationship with real estate and business like myself.
Yeah, I got a fiance and a cat. That's about it.
There you go. All your favorite things. All right, Denis, I'm coming to you, my guy. Caleb, you're going to be last because you're going to be like the mullet. You're going to be the party. Or no, it's business in front, party in the back.
That'll work.
Yeah,
Can you hear me,
so
Denis? Okay, cool.
yeah, so I'm originally from Sunnyside, Queens. I live out in Long Beach, New York, and I was always interested in creative finance ever since like the Carlton cheese days. And I bought my first property when I was 23. And then when I met my wife, it really like took another level of, we have the same interest in real estate. I have two kids, Graham and Paige, 4 and 6. And so we just do it for them also, right now we have like 5 properties and, but this one is actually a great deal. Everyone wants to know about the place in the Pacific Ocean, so it's interesting. I love the community. I really have a lot of confidence in the community. And when they say they're go-givers, I'll tell you, everyone shows up when you actually, put 2 feet forward and jump into a deal. So I really respect everyone here. And I'm excited to see what the future holds, for me, my wife, and my family.
That's amazing. And I love the New York accent. So my business partner, Frank Leone, is in Brooklyn. And the meetups in Midtown that Chris Baptiste throws, have you been to one yet? Because they're nothing short of amazing.
No, I haven't been to a meetup. I started a meetup last night in Long Beach, and 20 people showed up, but I'm not discouraged because a lot of people that are interested, and we had a great meetup. So it's great. I'm looking forward to going into Midtown. I try to make it, but I had some family things I had to do, so I couldn't make it that time. But I have my eyes on them.
Yes, definitely. Well, I'll be hopefully coming out in the fall. And so I'll have to get with you after and let you know exactly when I'm coming because they throw such a great, it's such just a warm, like New Yorkers kind of come off as like, rough and tough, but you guys are like one of the biggest go-giver, like teddy bears that I've ever met. It's just like the New York, because I lived in Philadelphia. So I have ties to the Northeast coast and stuff. So, and Ari has like a deli that he family brings in all these amazing sandwiches, and it's just like a big welcoming homecoming, even if you're a stranger. So I hope to see you there in the fall. So Caleb, we're moving on to you. I know a little bit about you, but the audience doesn't. So tell us a little bit backstory about yourself.
Sure. I'm originally from Tennessee. I live in Louisiana right now. Whenever I was young, I actually read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is usually what everybody that gets in real estate usually reads, and what's the whole property. And always been interested in real estate. My grandpa, whenever I was younger, never owned a house. And I always said, you know what? He always rented. I always said, I'm going to own a house my whole life. I'm never going to rent. And my wife was 18 whenever we got married. I was 20. And we bought our first house for like $10,000. There's a little trailer. And we ended up selling it for $25,000. So 20 years ago, that was my first deal. And then I was wanting to get into real estate, but life happens. You're young, and 5 kids later, you end up staying in the same house. So I end up Grant. I actually discovered Pace on the Grant Steffen show, and whenever I saw him, I'd actually been in Phoenix 2 months before that, and didn't even know who he was, which is crazy. And after that, I just started watching everything Pace, and I was like, this guy does what Robert teaches. So I got on the phone with someone with Subto, and I joined. I've been in since April of last year.
Awesome. You have so many hats too that you wear, because you have, if I remember right, a full-time W-2 as well, correct?
Yes. I actually work for a coffee company here in Louisiana. I've been in sales for a long time. So I actually worked for Pepsi for about 8 years. And then I jumped over into coffee here in Louisiana. It's a 100-year-old company here.
That's awesome.
It's a great company to be a part of. So it's kind of the golden handcuffs. Whenever real estate gets up, it's gonna be hard to let it go, but that's what I'm wanting.
Well, and maybe you don't have to let it go. Who in here else is buying existing businesses? That's something that I want to pivot and start exploring as well. Anybody, Grant or Dennis or Caleb, are you guys interested in buying any existing businesses? Because that's something I feel that you can leverage once you have strategies down. When you're working at a company which you love and you've poured everything into, you can start planting those seeds, and you never know what's going to come to that, having these conversations.
That is true. Yeah. Down the road, that's definitely something I want to
do. Awesome. How about you, Dennis?
Well, right now I'm like, I listened to Pace's story about getting out of the general contracting business and just doing my own thing, fixing flips and everything like that. But existing businesses, my brother just bought a laundromat. It seems a lot better than what I'm doing. So in a sense, less hands-on. So,
yeah, I get that. For sure. Like, I was forgetting about that you were in Louisiana, Caleb, because my air conditioner just tanked and it's 100 degrees. And I have like a sub-2 student over there with her helper trying to install an AC unit in 100-degree heat while my tenants are like,
yeah,
it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's so brutal down here right now. It's hot.
Swampy South. And I learned something too, because I'm in the state shaped like a mitten. Let's see if New York can guess that. What about Dennis? What state am I from? State shaped like a mitten.
Oh, state shaped like a mitten. Man, I'm really showing my how much I paid attention in school. But
starts with an M.
Yeah. Oh, Grant's got it. Go ahead, Grant. You take it away, buddy.
Michigan.
It was funny when I was at Squad Up, most people didn't know their geography. They're like, I don't know. And they would think about it. I would give them, hints and stuff. Dennis is like, okay, that's
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, what happened here?
All right, Grant. So how about we start with you about your deal? Tell us about the deal, how you found it from like A to Z, from open to closing, the ins and the outs, like any positive, negatives, however you want to, word it. Just give the audience just a highlight of this deal that landed you on here with the Creative Community Podcast.
Yeah, so like I'm one of the leaders of Orange County Joint Ventures, and we're like I'm one of 3 of the main wholesalers. So pretty much what I did is I had. What's up, Dennis? Oh, well, essentially, it's a lot of people are joining, so they want help. So what we did is I help people. I was like, here's the low equity list. I'll help you say everything that you need to do to pretty much get it under. So there was a girl called Lily Romer. Her dad's Dan Romer. He's one of the biggest like land contractors out there, but he wanted to learn how to do the creative stuff. So he's got his daughter to partner with me. So we were calling the low equity list. She had one that was interested. So pretty much she does the intro part, and then I'm coming in as the closer.
Nice.
So it's a very nice, like I give everybody like 50% just because I hate doing the entry calls. I love the closing calls, but I'm like, I'll pay you extra because it's just free money for me. Like, I don't care. Let's just get these deals going. So she got it. I got it under contract. And then from there, it was like, I wanted to keep it. But I just bought a house in Hawaii. So I was like, all right, let's put it out there and let someone else get this amazing deal. And that's where Dennis came in.
Very cool. Awesome. So where was the deal while Dennis gets situated? Where was the deal actually at?
So it is in Oahu, and it is literally one street away from being in Waikiki, where he could get the resort STR benefits, but just one street over. But yeah, right outside of Waikiki.
Gotcha. Dennis, can you hear us now, buddy?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It happens. It's just called 2024 technology. So Grant caught us up to the deal as far as how he sourced it and then left off at you guys decided that's where you came in. So you want to tell us a little bit about the house that's not too far from Waikiki?
Yeah, it was funny. Our buy box was from Maine to Miami, and I called my wife. She was in Vegas at the time, and she says, "Go for it. I trust you. Go for the Hawaii one." And that just goes to show how much of a baller she is, and the trust she has in me, which is important. So I went for it, and then Grant and his team was excellent. I can't say enough about Darren Yee and Grant and his team. They were excellent, and I was really excited about it. And I put a lot of confidence behind the Subto community because we're on the other side of the earth. Like in my opinion. So, if we can make this happen, we can make anything happen. Everyone stepped up. They got me in contact with everyone I needed to be in contact with. And we did this all virtually. I'd never been to the place. I just bought it off Facebook. That was
Wow.
Just bought it off Facebook. That's the best one-liner ever. And it just goes to show you how much you can do depending on what your risk tolerance is, right? Like some people don't want to invest out of state because they think it's too much of a hassle. And shout out to the strong women that support the strong men that are able to scale and to concentrate on certain business acquisitions to make the family better. Like that's what it's all about. Like the old saying, teamwork makes your dream work. It's just so true, especially when you have people like Grant and his amazing team. So Grant, tell us a little bit more about the team. So you do you do the closing calls. So do you have like a full shebang? You have the TCs, you have like the callers, you have like capital people involved. Like, is it more just like a straight wholesaling, or do you hold some, keep some?
Well, it's not really any of that. I don't have a lot of time in the day. I make like 20 calls at max. So like I said, with me making calls, I do 20. I'll pretty much get it like under contracts. I have Darren Yee. He's like one of the best TCs in the country. He's also one of the best underwriters. And then I have my partner, Kevin Van Beek. He does like all my underwriting to make sure I'm not an idiot and, not do the, make sure the deal is a good deal. I don't want to throw something up there and put it under contract if it's not going to sell. So it's like my partners do most of the work. I do all the easy stuff of just talking to people. So it's like once it's under contract, pretty much Darren does all the TC stuff. And then the good part is with Hawaii, everybody loves the Hawaii deal. So it's like I'll put
Mhm.
it up there in Subto, and I'll usually find a buyer within 24 hours. And
Yeah.
I don't even have to put up EMD. Literally, the EMD for the person buying it covers my EMD to get into the deal. So
Sure.
it's a small, lean group.
I love
We
it.
don't. Yeah, I don't have the time to do this full time, but it's my favorite hobby on the planet.
That's amazing. I just like none of the above, but this is what we do, and you make it work, right? Like everybody has their strengths, and I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit when you say an easy job, because closing is still closing. And let's be honest, like anytime that you're doing a creative deal, there comes like an education piece in it, so they have understanding. A lot of times sometimes they get cold feet, and you have to walk them through it and use stories and analogies to create connections and trust. And so yeah, you're a people person, but there's also a skill in closing. So
See, it's very funny because I'd have to disagree. I'm not very personable at all. I don't like talking to people for more than 5 minutes. So I'm more of a, here's the numbers. Does
You're
it
my
work for
business
you?
partner.
Is it a win-win? And then we're good. I don't have time to like talk to people all day. Like I can't do it. It's like I've got so little patience. So a lot of people just don't understand. As long as you put the number out there and it works, even though I'm not a very good sales guy, because I'm actually sending offers, I'll get contracts.
Mhm.
Ask anybody in Orange County Joint Ventures. My patience is like 0. Like,
Well, I'm a wellness coach, so if you ever need to work on that patience, like patience in the sense of medical and the other side. Well, you have a cat. You should have a lot of patience because those felines are feisty and all kinds of things.
no, he's outside all day. It's good.
So Caleb, let's circle down to you. Tell us about your deal and all the you know the drill. I don't have to go on and on.
Well, actually, when I first started with Subto, there wasn't a whole lot of people here in Louisiana, so I was actually looking to network with some people because I hadn't been in real estate. Right?
Mhm.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit like background, but we can hear. Can you guys hear Dennis and Grant?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, I just I don't really know who I found them, but I ended up driving 3.5 hours to Dallas to their meetups every single month since it started, and just built up a relationship with the Brawleys and Pauline. They had a meetup over in Frisco, and one thing led to another. I ended up bringing somebody that I know here to Dallas, and he was a builder, built houses, and I feel like I'm hearing some like a circle. Like
You are, yeah. It's definitely a little sus and sketchy, but we can roll with it. I mean, this.
all right, as long as it's not too bad.
Hey, Caleb. Yeah, there is a little feedback, but you're good, brother. Just keep on flowing, boss. You're good.
Thanks, Derek.
You're very welcome.
Anyway, I was going to the meetup partner that I knew over there, and we started hanging out. And I actually started fixing flips with him, helping him out on his. He already had a business going, and of course, too, on the credit side, he was pretty intrigued with that. He met somebody in Shreveport that was already in the business for like 20 years. And he'd done Sub-2s already. He'd been doing them for years. And so I reached out to him, and we actually started up a relationship, and I started seeing what all he was doing. And we finally did a deal together and locked up a house in Shreveport that we did a fix and flip. It was our first deal. And right now it's on the market. So we've got a seller, and we're doing all the items to get that closed. But the deal that I did the podcast on was our second deal. So this deal, he came to me and said, Caleb, he said, I got a really good deal. We need to go look at it. It's a 2.5 interest rate deal. And I said, wow. So I said, okay, well, let's go. And I met him the next day with the seller, and they had a little distress situation going on. They had pretty much been behind on everything except for the house. The house was everything they were behind on. But we actually spent an hour with her. We tried to explain everything, all the concerns, do all the bills, everything that she needs to know about, selling houses to us. And we ended up settling on like just paying them $15,000 for the house. She owed like $170,000 in mortgage. It was like an $860 per month was her payment, and we ended up getting a tenant in there paying $1,500 a month. But
Nice.
But the deal itself, we did it rent to own. We didn't do it like renting directly to a tenant. We actually built in about $70,000 into the deal and sold it to her for $250,000. And she basically gives us $2,000 every year that goes towards the purchase of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next 5 years, we'll up that lease, or the interest rate will go down and she'll buy us out and get a nice little payment there at the end. So it was a heck of a deal.
That sounds very cool. And Louisiana can be tricky, that's for sure, because you are correct. It's an area where the investors are kind of spread apart. Do you know Nisha Hyde? Because she's down there. She'd be a good one to connect with. I can connect you. And I know like Alexis Jimenez, he's in multifamily space, and Angel Bowden, he's in, I think, South Carolina, but they both invest down in Louisiana. So I can connect you with those guys. And so am I understanding correctly? So was it kind of like a lease option when rolling into like possible purchase, like maybe like a bond for deed, or like extra money paying towards like the principal to like season the money to refinance out in whatever way that she chooses? Or was there like a specific exit strategy that you were trying to strategically like structure for her?
Well, we didn't want, or at least I don't want to really manage tenants. I don't want to be a landlord, really.
Mm-hmm.
So rent to own is perfect for that, because I don't have to be bothered with, toilets and all that stuff. It's her house, right? So we just set it up to where, because I'm the one that funded the deal, my partner and I just split the deal 70-30.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we made the deal with the tenant is she purchases the house rent to own, where she pays $2,000 a year that goes towards the balance of the property.
Right.
So in 5 years, she'll just pay $10,000 down on the property.
And then she has an option to then decide what she's okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like a hybrid lease option with contingencies in there to help structure it so you're not responsible, but then you still hold title. So it's almost like a bond for deed, like a lease option with rolling in for a bond for deed, or a land contract, executory contract, called different things in various states. So gotcha. Very cool and creative. And then you solve the problem for somebody, and you're able to cash flow. That's amazing. Very, look at you with your little tribe of kids and your full-time job. You men are amazing. Dennis, do you have a full-time W-2 as well, or do you do this full-time?
Yeah, I'm a general contractor full-time. So, I take on a lot. My wife is actually, she works for the New York Post, so it doesn't get any more New York than that. And
no, it does not.
so
wow.
A senior sales rep for them, and we're together. We do pretty well. So, and we take on risk really well. So, I mean, we're 8 weeks into Subto, and I got my first deal. I just really want to inspire the people out there that they don't have to wait a year. You don't have to be, you don't have to have everything figured out. This group is very powerful, and I put my them.
Yes, the power of networking is everything, meeting the right person at the right time. And even sometimes when you meet people, it might not even be over real estate. You might connect with, Grant and be like, oh, I like this business model. Let me see what he's doing. Or it might be coaching or something else. Like I have people that I connect with and just pray with and for like KJ Mudd, you guys know her. And it's just like I connected with her over an RV park, but like we talk about fasting and other thing. And that's the powerful thing about this community is that it's not always about real estate. It branches off into so many other amazing things. And so, Grant, what is happening as far as your next step, what you're doing in the short, mid, long term? Are you going to continue just like the strategy with your powerful mini team doing the 20 calls per day, or do you have like escalations of where you want to be for your goals? Or just tell us a little bit about what you want to do or what you're thinking you could or possibly pull off.
Well, honestly, I never tried to get into wholesaling. I was just calling to find deals for myself because I wanted to keep everything. So it's like it just happens that it's like we're starting to get bigger and bigger, and more people are reaching out for help. So I'll probably be starting a company with a couple of good friends from Orange County Joint Ventures where we can actually scale a little bit bigger. Me personally, I just don't have enough time in the day to really grow. But it's like I said, it's just one of the funnest things I've ever encountered in my life, and I'm just enjoying it more and more and more. So I'll be here for the long run, but I don't know if I'll ever scale to like be some Goliath. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And that's so amazing that you recognize that, because so many times people over leverage their personal lives too. And then it becomes not what it was supposed to be, which is giving you freedom or joy, depending on what your strategy is. It's all very individualized. And you have to make it work for you or you're working for it. So that's awesome self-awareness. How about you, Caleb?
Well, it's funny you brought up KJ. Her and Joseph. I wasn't like Dennis. I didn't get a deal in my first 2 weeks. It took me almost a year. So I was drinking from the fire hose for a long time, and having a W-2 and watching Zooms, and just trying to watch everything in the Zoom vault, which is impossible.
Yeah.
I tried, and then I finally got to the point I'm like, you know what, I need to focus. And I met Jada Tholey, who actually invited me on the team. And I joined, just a single family wholesale team with her and KJ and Joseph Mudd. And they really kind of had a lot of patience with me and taught me how to call agents and really, get everything down to where I knew what I was doing a little bit. And now I got my first deal with them, and then now I'm on almost my fifth deal, which I'm doing in Houston right now. And I'm actually learning how to do midterm rentals with I can never say her name right. We call her Cece. She's actually Kevin Cho's midterm rental operator.
Okay.
And she's great. And we're actually going to turn this house in Houston that I'm doing right now into a midterm rental. And it's just, that's what I want to do. More midterm rentals there and in Dallas. That's the route I'm going right now.
Yeah, that market is pretty big, and it's really, there's a lot to it. So I have a lot of Texas folks, and so that's another thing. If you ever need a resource, just hit me up and I can hook you up. What about you, Dennis? What are your plans? Oh, sorry. What did you say, Caleb?
I just said I will for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dennis, what are your plans, like your short-term, midterm, long-term, if you have any? Like, where do you envision yourself being, like maybe 6 months from here, like a year?
Yeah, so we have a single family house in Long Beach, another 2-family in Long Beach, another short-term rental upstate, and my primary, and then the Hawaii house. We're looking to have like real estate our full-time gig, and doing with the family. We do a lot of traveling now, but we're gonna be doing a lot more. Once the real estate takes off, and I'm a Gator lender, also a realtor. So soon to be realtor. I'm just taking the test, I think next week or something. But I just like all real estate, like opportunities. We always keep our eyes open. It's awesome. We have a really good time. It's a good thing.
That's a pretty good trifecta. You got the contractor, you got the real estate investing, and then now you're going to be a unicorn, and you have your awesome wife. Like that sounds like it's definitely a trio of success. That sounds pretty darn amazing. And what was your strategy for the Hawaii house? Are you keeping it as a? I know it missed out from the short term. So is it midterm? Is it long term? Is it a care home? Like, are you just holding it, or does it need work, or?
Well, since we're a block away, I didn't know that until today. We're a block away until short term, but actually, we just rented it out long term because in the short term rentals, it's a lot of turnover. The midterm, especially it being so far away, I wanted less turnover.
Gotcha.
And a great couple. They're going to college and they rented it out, and we're doing really well with it. So
Awesome. Very, very cool. So for all three of you guys, if somebody was on the fence for joining, like they went down the rabbit holes, they watched the YouTube videos, they stumbled upon Pace, what advice would you give them, Grant, to be like, okay, I saw this dude, but I'm really not sure. Like, what kind of advice would you give that person that's on the fence about joining?
Go to a local meetup, man. Like, it's just the easiest way. You're going to meet so many unique people that are going to help. Like, I can't even tell you like the amount of friends I have now. Like, I used to be the guy that had like 4 friends max. Like, from Orange County Joint Ventures, now I have tons of friends, and we're all helping each other grow. So it's like, I just can't say like the community. I thought it was all BS at the beginning, but it's true. I mean, so many people have helped me out and grow as a human that it's just, you got to go to the meetups. Just find a free one, and then you'll grow from there.
That's very solid. And I think business teaches a lot about yourself. Marriage and business are two things that really will open up your eyes to your weaknesses and your strengths and everything in between, especially business. I think business more than marriage, like, because 80% of partnerships break up. And so there is some breakdown at some point. And if we can have hard conversations early on, it really helps. And you'll learn, like, you don't know what your partner is capable of until there's a lot of capital involved and you need to spend a lot of hours just grinding and grind. And it's like you're on a pirate ship with the mateys coming at you. You definitely have to get New York style, or OG California or Louisiana. I mean, we have like all the corners covered, and Michigan. We're like the United Nations going on here. What about you, Caleb? What would you say for someone on the fence of joining?
Well, I'd have to second what Grant said. That is 100% true. I started out going to a meetup, and I still have those same friends today. I can call any one of them. It was kind of ironic that I was interviewed by Carol and Briley because they were the first people that I met. And just when Pace has built such a go-getter community that everybody that you meet wants to know about you. They want to help you. They want to see where they can fit in your business, or who that they can actually introduce you to. I mean, they say your network is your net worth. So whenever you have a community of people, you have access to their resources, and you just never know where you're going to end up. And I would say if you're wanting to be in real estate, don't be in real estate without being in this community.
Solid advice. And if you don't have a meetup in your area, you can also create your own just by reaching out to other business people and entrepreneurs and telling them about different strategies, because a lot of times these strategies are foreign to them. So you're kind of like Willy Wonka in the Golden Ticket Factory, like, wow, and so it always like puts you up into a different spotlight too, because a lot of these strategies are new to them, not new as we know it in the industry, but to them. And so again, just like you, if you have to drive over to Texas, how far is that drive to get over to Texas to the meetup? Is it a haul or?
Yeah, where I'm located is the northwest part of Louisiana, so on the border of Arkansas and Texas.
Okay.
So there's hardly anything between here and Dallas. So it's 3.5 hours.
Wow. Okay. Sounds like going up Michigan to the Upper Peninsula because it's really like this.
Yeah. But since then, I've met so many people. There's actually one closer. Lance Reagan has one in Tyler. So it's, you know, you start meeting people. I mean, everybody, it's closer than you think.
Right. And then having these conversations, the lives every Tuesday and Friday, it's a way to come in and just learn about people too, about Grant and Caleb and Dennis and like what they're doing and where they're at. And you can just have it like going on in the background. So it's different when you're in a Zoom and you have all these people, or this is a lot more intimate and you can get to know who's in the community. So it's an amazing opportunity. What about you, Dennis? What would you say for advice? Someone on the fence?
Well, I think it's important, especially for young folks. You know, I hate when people say the American dream is gone, and you know, you can never buy a house. I hear it all the time. Just be very wary of your conversations that you're having with people and who you hang with, because you know, in this community, it's all about possibilities, and the American dream is alive and well in this community. So, you know, I want them to know that, and if you're not, you're missing out. Bottom line.
Right. Yeah, agreed. Millionaires and billionaires are made in recessions. Like even if the dollar tanks, you can harvest your skills. Like I was talking to another investor about this today, and I was like, well, I can go be a nurse. I can teach CPR. I know how to grow, hunt, fish, like outsource, use rainwater. Like I'm like the MacGyver. So you can leverage your other skills and your W-2s and to be able to build out and roll up your liabilities into other businesses. And that's what I like about this, even this format and meetups, is because I'm a visionary. So I get inspired by all of you guys. Like my mind will be going like 1,000 minutes, you know, thinking about what Grant said, what Caleb said, and what Dennis said, and circling back. So that's solid advice. So guys, Grant, Caleb, Dennis, we all have your little taglines. What is the best way of people to connect with you? Like Grant, you have a business. Is there a website that you want to shout out, or like that Darren could put in the thread so that way it'll be on the internet like forever in YouTube universe if people want to connect with you through that as well?
Nah, I'm good. It's like I'm just a basic guy. I help. Dennis will be more than willing to help you out. I'm super busy, but if you want to go to Orange County Joint Ventures, we have tons of people there that will help you all out. Like, you know, Brenda Jones, Darren Yee. I'm just kind of I'm a busy guy, but if you need help, I can help out sometimes.
Gotcha. Love it. How about you, Caleb? I see your IG is Caleb. Is that an L, a mile?
It's my name with an L in the middle.
Okay. Awesome.
And that's where I actually check my DMs every day. So if you want to get in the community or you want to talk to somebody about getting in it, just DM me. I'll talk to you. But it's definitely a good choice to make. One of the better decisions I made. If you can also message me on Facebook Messenger, but I'm going to get to it faster than on Instagram.
Gotcha. How about you, Dennis? What's a good way for you to have your Facebook there, Dennis Brooks, but is there any other alternative that you would like people to connect? Phone number or email or IG?
Yeah, you can get me on Facebook messages. I always check that. Instagram is the same thing. Dennis Brooks is pretty basic, just like Grant. So, you know, but I'm willing to talk to anyone and help out where I can.
I'm going to call Dennis and Grant the basic bros.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
There needs to be a meme on that. Not the finance guys. We need the basic bros that are very humble, very strong. Like, no, it's really awesome to see powerhouses like you gentlemen that are lifting up the community, You're taking care of your families. You're supporting your wives, your fiancés, and your cats, and your community. And so we just need more Caleb's and more Grants and more Denises around this community to continue to shape it and mold it and grow it. So anyone listening out there, if you want to share your wins and be on here and have all the banter and conversations, please email Taya at TAYA@pacemorby.com and be in her inbox and tell her about your wins. And here it is down there, Taya@pacemorby.com. And thank you all for joining us. It's been a great conversation. I appreciate you guys, especially you over there, because you're so busy, to just share some of your insight with the community. It was appreciated and a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. You guys are fantastic. And for those watching and listening, there's going to be a really cool meetup tonight. Of course, Pace is heading back to Montana. And so before he does, go over to whereispace.com. It's that simple, whereispace.com. And you'll know that tonight in Scottsdale, he's having a meetup. It's just a pop-up and meetup, hang out, have some drinks, eat slices of pizza, talk to Pace, talk to people in the community. This is what it's about. So it's going to be in Scottsdale tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for 2 hours. It may be from 6 to 9 because Pace, he likes to linger and hang out and chill. But again, go to whereispace.com and you have all the information there. Guys, you had a good time? Kimberly took good care of you, huh?
Great time. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys for being on here, man. You guys are rock stars. Little do people know that when you get on here and you tell your stories and you talk about your deals, there are people in the community, quite a few, that have never done a deal, right? They go to the meetups, they're talking to everyone, but I don't know what it is, whether it's imposter syndrome, golden handcuffs. It's a lot of different things that keep us from succeeding and jumping over that broom, right? And so I'm just thankful that you guys were able to come on here, talk about your stories, talk about your wins. Some of you guys have W-2s. I mean, that's amazing. You know, you're still doing it and hustling. Yeah. So thank you again. Pace has so been grateful. Pace wishes that he could say thank you to every last one of you. I remember when he told me about the community. I'm not going to say I wasn't a believer, but the way he explained it, I'm like, that's a bit extra Pace, but whatever. And so he put me on a plane to Orlando, and that's where I met the beautiful Kim at Squad Up this year. And I owed the man an apology. I was like, Pace, you're right, brother. People were absolute strangers, gentlemen, were grabbing me. Hey, what's your name? Who are you? I'm like, oh my God. It's like, what are you, a Gator? Are you a Subto? Are you a top tier TC? I'm like, I'm a social media strategist for Pace. I can say that. And everyone there wanted to bless me with an angle. And what was so beautiful about it, many beautiful things, everyone was so unassuming, like just the most average looking people, but they're killing it in creative finance, right? And I think the biggest thing about it was they desperately wanted me to win. Didn't know who I was, didn't know where I was from. None of that mattered. They just wanted me to win. And so this community is amazing. And you guys are like pioneers in the community, man. Trust me, you guys are. So thank you again for being on the show. Kimberly, oh my gosh, you're fabulous. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
It's always frightening. I was just telling my business partner, Frank, I was like, last night on the phone as I was pacing back and forth trying to figure out like this air conditioner, I was like, why am I still nervous for my lives at fives? Like, why is it like it never go? My heart is like, I'm not like basic bros over here, like vaping and just chill. Like, I'm still like, I wish I was like Grant or Denis or Caleb. Like,
they're mad cool. Yeah, you guys are super cool. Ice water in you guys' veins because
like I need that. Harvest that for me, fellas.
It didn't start like that, but you stood enough and used to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We have people that are on here. Now I'm gonna be honest, even though I'm moderating, I'm in the back, I always get nervous when the camera's on. I just get nervous. But there's some people that are like, oh my God. I'm like, wow, she is about to pass out. They're so nervous. And it's a lot of fun. But you guys are super cool. Like, yeah, I gotta get some of that, which y'all got. So it's awesome. Definitely. But thank you again, gentlemen. And if people start harassing you and blowing up your Facebooks and your inboxes with DMs, hey, you guys are rock stars now. So thank you so much, gentlemen.
And then I just have one piece of advice for all the people that don't have their deal yet.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put the offers in, man. There's going to be someone that you're the right solution for. You don't have to be the best sales guy or anything. Just keep trucking and don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep trucking. Don't give up. Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool.
Agreed.
I love it. Love it. I believe that was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you so much for that, Grant. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. So let me see here. Yes, about that time. Okay, so we won't keep you guys any longer. I'm going to end the live. For those listening, thank you so much. We love you guys. Knock out these deals, brother. Let's go. Let me see.
See you next week. Adios.
Mm-hmm.